Has YouTube become nothing but an alt-right doctrination hub normalizing bigotry? Well, one Redditor seems to think so. Let's talk about it. Now, a lot of times when I'm perusing the internet looking for interesting stories to talk about, I'll visit Reddit. Now, not just any Reddit, specifically r/YouTube drama. Because, you know, your boy enjoys himself a little drama here and there. And as you know, YouTube has drama ripe for the picking. Hell, even Keemstar made a whole career off of just bringing up people's dramas.
I think it's funny.
And a post on r/YouTube drama caught my attention and made me think, does this person have a point? The Reddit user named Excalibur Umberfree gave their hot take, which was, YouTube has become nothing but an alt-right indoctrination hub normalizing bigotry. And in the discussion portion, they added, in all my time, the commentary community, and even back during Gamergate era of Sargon and Akkad, my dumbass middle school self gained some unfortunate lessons until now. And those lessons being that cultural fear warmongering and signal boosting manufacturing nothing burgers, mostly from Twitter, really sell well. From talking about movies, to video games, to anime, to even people having different opinions on certain topics, like Illimotion versus Think Before You Sleep as an example, from The Critical Drinker collabing with Ben Shapiro, to Nerdrotic recently hitting 1 million subs, to even VTubers getting involved against the woke mind virus that has nothing to do with them at all. I just wish at some point something would be done. But obviously those same people would cry, "You're against free speech!" Literally 1984. You've all gone woke. Or some other excuse for preserving their bigotry, like while having to pander to an audience infested with the worst kinds of people imaginable within their fan bases. So of course this made me wonder, has YouTube really become a beacon of alt-right movements? A beacon of bigotry? A far-right propaganda website? Well, in short, no. And I'm gonna tell you why. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past 10 years, and if you are living on the rock, I suggest you just stay there. It would not be a surprise to many of you if I were to say that political tensions right now are pretty high. Oh, who am I kidding? They're higher than Cheech and Chong when Cheech smoked the dog poop in the van.
God damn, I was in that shit, man. I never had no dope like that before in my life, man. That's the heaviest shit I ever smoked, man. I mean, I smoked a lot of shit before, man. But goddamn, man, that's heavy shit.
So, needless to say, it's pretty rough out there. With that said, I do feel like this topic is a little more complex than it may appear. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's think about what YouTube's main goal as a company is. And its main goal is to keep you watching. Why? Because of ad revenue. And we all know the almighty YouTube algorithm is a mysterious foe, but the one thing we do know about the algorithm is that it loves watch time hours. The more watch time hours a video gets, the more it's likely to be recommended. Which brings me to my first defense of why YouTube is not an alt-right propaganda website. And that is the algorithm. So in order to use the algorithm for a defense, we have to first understand how the algorithm works. Now, at the end of most YouTube videos or the beginning or wherever they sprinkle it in, most YouTubers will say like, subscribe, and comment.
And also smash that like button and click the bell for notifications. And also murder that like button. I want you to strangle the life out of it and from its like button family. I want that like button's kids to see you in their nightmare.
Now, why do they do that? It's not just because it makes them feel good to have comments, although I'm sure it does, but it's because, one, the engagement triggers the algorithm to say, hey, a lot of people are engaging with this video, let's recommend it more. They also say, like. The more likes a video gets, the more the algorithm pushes it. This is all under the umbrella of engagement. And as great as engagement is, nothing pleases the algorithm more than watch time. The more watch time a video has, the more likely it is to be recommended by YouTube. Why? Because they get ad revenue from people watching longer. Because regardless of what you think YouTube is meant to represent, at the end of the day, it is a business that wants to be profitable. So the best thing that we could do in this situation is let's look at the data. And what we're going to compare is the top conservative channels versus the top liberal channels. All right, this will give us an idea of what the algorithm sees when it looks at these videos. So as the casual YouTube watcher, I'm going to think of the two liberal channels that pop out in my head as the most liberals that come to mind, because in my opinion, I feel like those would be the most likely go-tos for liberal viewers. So of course I'm thinking of the Young Turks and Hassan Piker. It doesn't get more liberal than that, am I right, guys? I am excluding major networks because they also have a lot of their viewership stolen by television and cable. So I don't feel like it would be appropriate to use them in this experiment. So let's first look at Hasan Piker. Hasan, who goes by Hasanabi on YouTube, has 1.34 million subscribers. Not bad. I'm using him because, in my opinion, when you think of left-wing activists online, he is the first person that comes to mind. Don't even act like he's not. The average viewership for Hasan, let's take a look. 2 hours ago, he posted a video, has 29,000 views in 2 hours, 123,000 views in 22 hours, 234,000 views in 1 day. Now let's take a look at Hasan's top performing views on his YouTube channel. To date, the highest view on Hasan Piker's channel with 3.8 million views is Gun Girls Get Publicly Owned by Communists. In second is I Made Andrew Tate Run Away in a Debate, 2.6 million. And reacting to Ben Shapiro taking Political Compass is 2.3 million. I know Hasan gets a lot of viewership on Twitch, but for the sake of the argument, we're talking about YouTube today. Now let's go over and take a look at the Young Turks. This is the other channel that, in my opinion, pops out as one of the biggest YouTube presences in the liberal space. So at the timing of this video, the Young Turks have 5.86 million subscribers. Their latest videos is This Fear-Mongering Really Helpful, has 26,000 views, posted 16 hours ago. Trump's Ominous 2024 Promise has 33,000 views, that was 16 hours ago, and 12,000 views. If we take a look at their most popular videos, the #1 video, which I gotta be honest, I'm kind of shocked about this, Woman Shows Face After Chimp Attack graphic video. That has 15 million views, and that's from 14 years ago. It's only 3 minutes and 40 seconds long. The second is What Are Chicken Nuggets Made Of? That is 13 million views. Anastasia Spagnina, Real Life Anime Girl, 13 million views, and that was from 11 years ago. I actually kind of found it surprising that the Young Turks' two most popular videos have nothing to do with politics at all. I don't know if that means anything particular in this experiment, but I do believe that that is an interesting little tidbit. Now, of course, if we're going to look at yin, we got to look at yang. So now let's go look at the top conservative voices on YouTube. I actually found it a much easier task to think of the top 2 conservative voices on the internet as opposed to the top 2 liberal voices on the internet. I don't know if it involves all the controversy that they're constantly finding themselves in, but for me, and I'm pretty sure you guys know who it's going to be as well, Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro. It doesn't get any bigger than them. Now, some could argue that I could use Joe Rogan as one of the conservative team members. However, Joe has stated on many occasions that he actually considers himself to be a liberal, even though the liberals seem to disown him. So that's why we're not even going to go there and touch that one. So here we are, we're looking at Ben Shapiro's YouTube channel. I know that we could use the Daily Wire YouTube channel, however, they have several different hosts, and I'm just using Ben Shapiro for this example. Ben Shapiro has 6.8 million subscribers at the timing of this video. His latest video, Follow the Money, has 51,000 views, posted 4 hours ago. Resisting Indoctrination with Abigail Shrier, 53,000 views, posted 1 day ago. Best at Ben Shapiro's TikTok Reactions, the Trump edition, 127,000 views, posted 2 days ago. Now let's go look at the most popular videos from Ben Shapiro. Congresswoman tries to call Ben Shapiro racist, regrets it, 18 million views, posted 4 years ago. F you, I'm talking, student loses it while debating Ben, 9.3 million views, and that was posted 2 years ago. Ben Shapiro Q&A, transgenderism debate with Kyle Rittenhouse, CRT, blah, 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 7.1 million views, and that was posted 2 years ago as well. Now looking at Steven Crowder's YouTube channel. Steven Crowder has 5.76 million subscribers at the timing of this video. His latest video, Super Episodio Conviados, Alex Jones falando sobre a CIA y Paulo, 47k views. I didn't really think that I was gonna have to speak Spanish during this video, but I guess here we are. And that was 3 weeks ago. Elon vs. Brazil, esa itrania que es equada con los estados. That was 19,000 views. That was posted 3 weeks ago. And here's what you don't know involving the conflict with Not Gay Jared, who was a former co-host of his. That has 150,000 views. Now going to the most popular videos by Steven Crowder. There are only 2 genders change my mind, 45 million views. That was 6 years ago. Hashtag SJW Feminist Festival, crashed by Crowder in underwear, 31 million views. That was 8 years ago. Undercover SJW Fat Pride Feminist Panel, crashed by Crowder. That was 25 million views. So taking these numbers into consideration, let's do a total breakdown of the differences in viewership and subscribership and all that good stuff. So if we take Hasan Piker's subscribers, add it to Young Turk's subscribers, we get a number around 7.1 million subscribers combined. If we take the latest views on videos released, now granted, this part's a little odd because they're released at different times. The liberal side will have 384,000 total views on the recent releases, while adding the most popular videos together gives us 49.7 million combined views on their most popular videos for the liberal side. Moving over to the conservative side, if we are to combine Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro's subscriber numbers together, we get 12.62 million subscribers total. If we add together their recent video views, we get 447K views. And while adding together their most popular videos, we get 135.4 million views. Now, while both statistics are very, very impressive, it's pretty clear that one side jumps out. Why am I putting together this whole number thing, and why did I waste my time doing elementary school edition for you? I just want to put it to you like this. If you were YouTube and your goal was to keep people on your platform, no matter how you do it, so that you can get advertiser revenue and up your profits for your investors, which channel would you promote more in the algorithm? Do you think the algorithm cares about abortion, cares about taxes, cares about inflation, or what's woke, what's not woke? No, it doesn't. It cares about one thing: viewership numbers. So if you were the YouTube algorithm and you were programmed to keep people on your site as long as possible, would you suggest to someone channels that have less viewership than other channels? Now, obviously, both still get suggested. However, which one did you think would get suggested more? Would it be the channel with maybe 147 million views? Or would it be the channel with 47 million views? The point I'm making here is not to say, oh, conservatives are better or liberals are better. It's to point out that YouTube has one specific goal in mind, and you can't misinterpret that and claim that YouTube is some alt-right propaganda platform when you know in reality that it comes down to one thing: YouTube's a business. Now it's time to get into my next point, and I think that this might be the one that ruffles a little bit of feathers here. I have my own political views, right? I was a liberal at one point. I no longer would consider myself a liberal. I probably would lean conservative, but if I can express to you my own sentiment regarding why I feel like viewership is more leaning towards the right nowadays, is just because conservatives are people of tradition, right? They're people who like the way things kind of are. Well, actually, probably not at the moment. They hate the way things are right now. Maybe the way things were. Now, I'm not talking 1960s things were. I'm talking probably like 2000s things were. And while I honor the liberal attempt to try to get things better, and I think that honestly that most liberals do want things to be better for everyone, I feel like a lot of people feel like they don't like the way that things are being done to make that happen. I take exception with the Redditor who posts that the audience that people like Nerdrotic have are literally the worst people. That is not a statement of fact. That is just your opinion. And it's opinion that is again and again being formed by mainstream media who wants everyone to fight amongst each other so that they have protests to cover. Since the beginning of America, yes, have liberals and conservatives had their difference? Of course. But we all got along. We didn't unfriend lifelong people we knew because of their political views, which is something that's happening now. We made it work somehow. And the whole idea of America is Democrats and conservatives working together to create a better nation. And I think we forgot that somewhere along the line. I know liberal people who are some of the best people I've ever known. I know conservative people that are some of the best people I've ever known. Are there bad apples on both sides? Of course. But I think that those people usually tend to extend to the far ends of our political parties, where the 80 to 90% of us who are somewhere in the middle, whether you lean left or you lean right, those are the people who are suffering from the actions of the far right and the far left. But it does not have to be that way. Tomorrow we could all wake up, decide to hear each other out, resolve our issues, agree on what actually has to be done, and put all this behind us. Will that happen? Probably not. But could it happen? Yes, absolutely. We could all stop finger pointing, hating one another, and get shit done. And if you're wondering why maybe the numbers are higher on the conservative side and there's more and more people going to tune into them, it's because change is scary. Not to mention that, in my opinion, I feel like, a lot of people on the left tend to not be very tolerant of anybody who has ideas that are just a little bit different than them. Take, for instance, Destiny, one of the biggest liberal Democratic streamers there are. He goes to a college campus where everybody's supposed to be like progressive, and he gets told he's not allowed to speak because he made one or two statements along the line that people didn't agree with. I thought the left was supposed to be like the tolerant ones. Yet I see tons of conservatives tuning into Joe Rogan, yet Joe Rogan continues to keep telling people he's a liberal. These are things that we have to understand to be able to move forward. Again, I'm just some guy who lives in America, who sees what's going on in my country, knows how things used to be, knows how things are right now, and I see a group of people trying to force change on a bunch of people who are scared of it, don't really understand it all that well, aren't being explained it very well because they're too busy being called names from a side that claims that they're on the right side of history. If you're on the right side of history, then why does Antifa continue to assault people regularly? These are just things that I'm wondering. Again, I'm not here to sit here and play conservative better, liberal better. You know, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm simply explaining to you why the viewership in conservatives may be going up and how just because they're conservative doesn't mean they're bad people. It's not like somebody wakes up and all of a sudden goes, you know what, I'm going to let my inner bigot out today and I'm going to become a conservative. That's not how that works. It's people looking around at their country, seeing a lot of change happen and being like, whoa, 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 this is a little much for me. Maybe we need to slow things down a little bit. That doesn't make them bad people, that makes them human. And I'm sure there's plenty of liberals out there who feel the same. They're scared too. You watch TV and it tells you that there's a ton of racists trying to kick you out of your country. How would you react to that? But the thing is, most conservatives hate racism. They really do. Did you ever stop and think to consider that maybe the videos you're seeing online, you're only seeing because it sparks a reaction from you? And that seeing two people fighting is a lot more entertaining than seeing two people agreeing on something? You're never going to be hearing someone yelling World Star when two people agree on a budget. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes back to the engagement thing. It's much harder to engage on a video where everybody's singing Kumbaya and getting along than it is to watch two people go at each other's throats or get owned. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I do know that I don't like seeing so many people hate each other. I feel like our ability to have compassion and understanding towards one another is really destroying us, essentially. I know it's hard. There's the have and the have-nots. And if you've lived your whole life in poverty, I could see why you'd turn to progressiveness to get more money. And if you're someone who's worked really, really hard your whole life for everything you have, I can understand how that would lead you to be upset with people who are getting money for free. Just these are things you got to think about before you go spouting off that a whole political party's horrible because they don't agree with every single thing that you say. Anyway, I feel like I've rambled on long enough. In the end, is YouTube an indoctrination platform sent to make bigots of us all? No, it's not. All right, it's a business. It just happens right now that a lot of people are scared of the way that their country's going, and one party's in control, and if they don't like the way that things are going, they look to another party to see if they have any better ideas. That's just the way America was set up. Doesn't make them a bigot. Doesn't make them a fascist, doesn't make them a communist, doesn't make them horrible, just makes them human, who wants to live a decent life. Anyway, my name's E.G. Lately. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. If you like this video and you want to see more of my political takes, check out this video right here where I show you how I ended up where I am in my political journey.